वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारम् प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। In the last class, we started our discussion on sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, that is the means, the disciplines which are considered to be the sampatti, the wealth, for gaining the status of being a fit person, adhikari for the pursuit of this Vedanta study and inquiry. As a first discipline in the list, we were discussing Vivekaha. Vivekaha, it means discrimination. Discrimination, when we say, we need at least two things to differentiate one thing from the other. And among the two things, one thing can be chosen, the other thing can be dropped. Therefore, we need two things. Like a swan, that Amsa Pakshi, which discriminates milk from the water and takes only milk. When we say Viveka, it means separating two things. That need not be physically, but in terms of understanding, in terms of clarity, in terms of clarity and thinking. That is why Viveka is a first qualification for a spiritual seeker, sadhaka. In Viveka Chudamani, Acharya Bhagavad Gita says, Adau Nitya Nityavastu Vivekaha Pariganyate. Adau, that is what the counted first in the list of qualifications required on the part of an adhikari. Adau Pariganyate. Therefore, Viveka means clarity of thinking, that intellectual discipline in thinking clearly. It means that we are not carried away by our emotions. Rational thinking capacity is what is indicated by this qualification. Many people, they are attached to a certain idea or a person that they cannot think intellectually. They cannot think intellectually they cannot think. They cannot think clearly. That's a problem, and that will not help in the pursuit of moksha, freedom. Therefore, Viveka is being intellectually honest. But intellectual integrity is what is meant by Viveka. You have a love for clarity. You say what is right, even though it may be opposed to your emotions. But you say, that is right. What is right. My emotional attachment should not interfere in arriving at a right logical conclusion. And this rational thinking is very, very important in the pursuit of Vedanta. Otherwise, the emotional thinking, it becomes a disqualification in this pursuit. That is why Viveka is Pariganyate, Adu Pariganyate. That is why it is counted first in the list of disciplines required. And this word, Viveka, it has many meanings. It can mean the faculty of discrimination, which we enjoy. It can mean the ability, the faculty of discrimination, what we enjoy as a human being. Bhagavan has given this faculty and which we apply in our day-to-day life. Many of our daily routine activities, it involves this Viveka. It involves the application of this faculty, Viveka. And therefore, Viveka, it can merely mean the faculty, the ability, what we enjoy to discriminate things and understand. Another meaning of Viveka is the very process of discrimination. That is called Viveka. Applying the faculty in our transaction. That is also called Viveka. The faculty, what we enjoy as a human being is Viveka. That is called Viveka Shakti. Shakti is the power, faculty. As a power that is given to us, we enjoy. That is Viveka Shakti. And that Viveka Shakti, when we apply in our life, in our transaction, then that it becomes Viveka Kriya. That becomes Viveka Kriya. That is actions executed with application of Viveka. That is Viveka Kriya. And therefore, the application of Viveka Shakti is Viveka Kriya. Our action and the consequent result is born of this Viveka Shakti. For example, you have a choice. You have a choice to attend the class or not. It is Viveka Shakti. And application of that choice in your action is Viveka Kriya. Wanting to do exercise or wanting to sleep in the morning, and that too if it is too cold, like in Anekati, it is 10 degrees Celsius. That is, the choice is there. But choosing to do the exercise is Viveka Kriya. As that is important to maintain our health. Exercise is important to maintain our health. Therefore, I choose to do the exercise in spite of being cold in the morning. That is Viveka Kriya. Therefore, Viveka is all the way. It is not something new. And this Viveka has another meaning. That is, the knowledge which is born out of the consequence of our action. That is also called Viveka. Whatever the result may be, whatever the outcome of the Viveka Kriya may be, we get the knowledge of the consequence of the application of Viveka Shakti. If the consequence is favorable, then we say it is the right application of Viveka Shakti. If it is not favorable, it means with no proper thinking we have taken up the action. No planning. That is also a knowledge. That is also a jnanam, what we gain from the result of action. The failure also gives us a knowledge. Success also gives us knowledge. Failure also gives us knowledge. That is jnanam. Therefore, Viveka can mean jnanam. Jnanam born of the application of Viveka. Therefore, Viveka as a faculty what we enjoy, that is called Viveka. And the application of that faculty is Viveka Kriya. And the knowledge what we gain out of the application of the Viveka Shakti and our Viveka Kriya is Viveka Jnana. That is also Viveka. And now with reference to our pursuit, moksha pursuit, Viveka means discrimination. Discrimination between what is truth and what is not truth. And what is the truth? What is the truth of all our pursuits? And what is the truth of myself? So that analysis, that inquiry, vichara into what is truth and what is, and that discrimination, that is called Viveka. We know that there are the pursuits of dharma, artha, and kama. What are they called? They are called purusharthas. If you take artha purushartha, from artha purushartha, what do I seek from it? Through artha purushartha, what I am seeking is security. Or to put it another way, I seek freedom from insecurity. Why do I need the security? Because I feel insecure, I need security. In the same way with other purusharthas also. Therefore, if you go to the root of the problem, nobody wants to be insecure. Everyone wants to be free from insecurity. And when I seek security, it means that I am taking myself for granted as being insecure. I've already concluded that I am insecure. But what is the factual thing about this conclusion? What is the truth? Am I really insecure? Or do I take something to be myself and I feel insecure? That needs Viveka. If I, the Atma, is the body. If I, the Atma, is the Shariram, then definitely Atma is insecure because the body is insecure. The body is subject to time, the body is subject to, and therefore subject to age, and therefore I'm insecure. If Atma is body, then it is subject to time, aging, and sickness, and therefore insecure. If the truth is that I am not insecure, then there is confusion. I feel insecure, but the truth is I am not insecure. And therefore, there is confusion. If there is a confusion, what should we do? What we need? What we require is an inquiry. We require an inquiry to resolve it. Because there is confusion, there should be inquiry, and that is Viveka. Here, Viveka means inquiry. Inquiry where there is confusion. Inquiry where two things are mixed up. Security is what I seek through Artha Purushartha. But security is not really the Purushartha. It is freedom from insecurity. It is freedom from seeking security. It means that I am not happy with seeking. I don't want to be a seeker. I don't want that which makes me a seeker. Therefore, I am not after, really speaking, artha or kama or dharma. I don't want to be after anything, no seeking. Then that must be my real nature. That must be my real nature, my swarupa. If I am this body, the shariram, then this is not acceptable. If I am the mind, then this is not acceptable. If I am the senses, then also this is not acceptable. Why? Because body, mind, senses, they always seek, and therefore they change. And therefore the nature of my body cannot be me. The nature of mind cannot be me, cannot be myself. The nature of senses cannot be myself. Then what are they? Then what am I? They must be that which I am supposed to enjoy, or which I am supposed to use it for my well-being, but they are not me. They are not myself. They cannot be the truth of myself, me. Therefore, if I am the Atma, then they must be what? Anatma. The body, mind, senses must be Anatma. Na Atma, Anatma. Atma means that which doesn't change, but in the presence of which every changes is witnessed, in the presence of which all changes happen. That which is a witness of all changes is Atma. Atma is myself, the consciousness. Anything other than that is not me, it is Anatma. This is Viveka. This discrimination between Atma and Anatma is Viveka. And this is with reference to myself, the individual. Okay, you may say, yes, I accept I am Atma. I accept the truth of myself is Atma. There is clear, distinct feeling of myself being separate from the body, mind, senses, like in sleep. Experience also confirms that I cannot be body, mind, senses alone. There must be something more. Therefore, I accept that this body, mind, senses are Anatma, not me. And this Anatma, they depend for my existence. I don't depend on them. Anatma depends on me, and I am the Atma. This I agree. You may say this. But you may ask, what about the whole Jagat? What about the whole Jagat which is available for me? What is that? And what is the truth of the Jagat? That the truth of me is Atma. But what about the truth of the Jagat? Any thinking person will ask this question, and therefore it is a valid question. And therefore, how are we account this Jagat? Our Shastram says that the truth of Jagat is also consciousness. As Anatma depends on Atma for its existence and function, so too Jagat also depends on Brahma, the consciousness, for its manifestation and existence. That we come to know from the Shastra. Assuming that we understand what the Shastram says, now we can derive a simple fact. That is, that which depends on something, it cannot be real. Satyam. It cannot be Satyam. That which is independent of anything must be real. It must be Satyam. Therefore, Atma is Satyam and Anatma is not Satyam. Brahma is Satyam. Jagat is not Satyam. Anything other than Brahma is not Satyam. And that is what we saw in the previous class. Brahma Satyam, Brahmaiva Nityam, Anyatu Sarvam, Anityam. Nityavastu Ekam Brahma, Tadanyat Sarvam, Anityam. Ayameva Nitya Nityavastu Vivekaha. That is the definition of Viveka in Tattvabodha, if you remember. And that Brahma Asti. Brahman is there. That is Paroksham. Paroksham is indirect knowledge. That is Paroksham in the beginning. In the beginning, from the Shastram, we understand Brahma Asti. Before you inquire further into Shastram, you have a Paroksha Jnanam that Brahma Asti. And when you study Shastram and do Vichara, then you will gain the knowledge that Brahma is Aparoksham, Nitya Aparoksham. That Brahma is me. That is what the Upanishad and the Gita unfolds. Therefore, moksha in the form of Aparoksha Brahma Agam Asmi is a teaching. Is a teaching of the Upanishad and the Gita. And for that, what we are doing now, we are creating a base, a strong base, so that we can understand the teaching in line with the Shastra. And now it's clear that I don't seek Artha Dharma Kama. Really, what I seek is moksha. And in and through all the three Purusharthas, what I seek is moksha. This is also called Viveka, and this is Purushartha Viveka. And there are many names for this Viveka. Purushartha Viveka, Nitya Nistya Vastu Viveka, Sat Asat Viveka, Satyam Nitya Viveka, Atma Anatma Viveka, Tattva Atattva Viveka, Sharira Ashariri Viveka, all means the same. There is clear and distinct understanding between what is Nityam and what is not Nityam. That is Viveka. The goal of Dharmartha Kama Purusharthas are Anityam, whereas Moksha is Nityam. This is Viveka. Atma is Nityam. Anatma is Anityam. Shariram is Anityam. Shariri is Nityam. What is Shariri? Shariri is one who resides in the body. Shariraha asya asti iti sharirin. So, sharirin is Nityam. Brahma is Satyam and Nityam, whereas Jagat is Nitya, Anitya. All these are Viveka only, and they mean the same thing. Therefore, Viveka is understanding that Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tadanyat Sarvam Anityam. And what is Nityam? That which has no beginning, that which has no end also, and that which exists in all the three periods of time, that is called Nityam. And we say Brahma Nityam. It means the Brahma must be something which is not produced. Because it is Nityam, it has no beginning and no end. Therefore, Brahma cannot be the result of any action. And what I am seeking in my life is completeness, Purnatvam. That which is free from limitation. What I seek is limitlessness, and that limitlessness cannot be gained from a limited thing, a limited action. Nasti akritaha kritena. If you remember, Mundaka Upanishad. Therefore, if I can attain limitless, which is what I am seeking, and Brahman being limitless, therefore it must be only from Brahma. And that Brahma is not a product of any action, any karma. Therefore, moksha, what I seek, that freedom from incompleteness, it is possible only by attaining Brahma. And Brahma is not the product of any action. In this way, in doing such vichara, a person gets this viveka, that Brahma being limitless, being free from the limitation of time, and that alone is a source of moksha. And therefore, Brahma is equal to moksha. Attainment of Brahma is the attainment of moksha. In the language of Kathopanishad, it is called Shreyas. Anything other than Brahma, it is finite and time bound, and therefore it cannot give me moksha. Anything other than Brahma, which is time bound, which cannot give me moksha, that is called prayas in the language of Kathopanishad. And that which doesn't come under the purview of time, place, and things, and that is what limitless I am, and that is Shreyas. Shreyas and Prayas. So, understanding of this Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka, it leads to Shreyas Prayas Viveka. Prayas means temporary well-being. Prayas and Shreyas, these are the language used by the Kathopanishad. So, Prayas means temporary well-being. What you gain by Arthakama, they are all Prayas. That which are pleasant for time being, that is called Prayas. Shreyas means moksha. Shreyas means moksha. That which is good, that which is limitless, that which doesn't come under the ambit of time, place, that has no beginning and end, and that is Shreyas, that is Brahma. And Shreyas can be only from Brahma. That moksha, which is in the form of Brahma Prapti, that cannot be achieved by any amount of karma. And that is what is implied in the word Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. That which is Anityam can be accomplished by action. That which is Nityam, that which is limitless, which is infinite, cannot be accomplished by action. Nasti akritaha kritena. And that attainment of Brahma, which is moksha, that is what our Shastra reveals, that Brahma Aham Asmi. And therefore, that Brahma should be known. For doing this Viveka between Nitya and Anitya, and that Brahma should be known, and that is known from the Shastram in the beginning in the form of Paroksha Jnana. And later when you do inquiry into the Shastram, that you will come to know that That Brahma, Ahamasmi, it is Nitya Aparoksha. Okay. In the last class, I introduced the same topic, Viveka, using some technical terms. Don't be afraid of those technical terms. Those technical terms, it's a method through which we look at Viveka. We analyze the Viveka in terms of those fivefold criteria, conditions. What are they? If you remember, it is Hetu, Swarupa, Karya, Avati, and Palam. Hetu, Swarupa, Karyam, Avati, Palam. Hetu means the cause. The cause of Viveka is Purvakrita Punyam. You would have done some karma. What karma? Vaidika karma. You would have done some Vaidika karma in your Purva Janma or maybe in this Janma, and that is why you are interested in doing this Viveka. Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka, Tattva Viveka. Without having done some karma in the Purva Janma, it is not possible to come to Vedanta. I remember once Swamiji told in our class that we must all have done some Vaidika karma, whose karma pala in the form of punyam, which has brought to Vedanta, which has brought us to Gurukulam to study Vedanta. So, so firm in this declaration that some Vaidika karma in some Janma we would have done, and that has brought to the study of Vedanta. After Veda Purva Bhaga, Vedanta. First, Vaidika karma, some Vaidika karma which were in the Veda Purva we would have done. And the Palam, what we accrued out of that Vedic karma, it has taken us to the next portion of the Veda, that is Vedanta. That is how we have come to Vedanta. Swamiji told us once in our classes. Mula pramanam vedosti vidatasya vibhajanam pratamaha karmakandascha vedantascha parasmrtaha. Veda is the Mula Pramana, the fundamental means of knowledge. And that Veda is divided into two parts, Vida Vibhajanam. The first portion of the Veda known as Karmakanda, which deals with various rituals. And the second portion of the Veda is called Vedanta. So to come to Vedanta, you would have done some Vaidika rituals sometime in our life, either in this life or the previous life. So Veda Purva we have done. And that is why we have come to Vedanta. And this is what our tradition believes and they say. So don't think our life started yesterday. We have been living billions and millions of years and many yugas came and went, but we were there. And we would have, in some yuga, in some form, we would have done something. And it has brought us to this inquiry, Viveka. So therefore, it is all Punyam, Purvakrita Punyam. And that is the Hetu. Then, what is the nature of this inquiry? What is Swarupam? Brahmayeva Satyam, Anyata Sarvam, Anityam. That is the Swarupam, the nature of this Vichara. And what is the Karya, the effect of this Viveka? You start discriminating based on your life experiences what is Nityam and what is not Nityam. You analyze and you ascertain the Anityatvam of any Vastu or any person or any situation or any experience you come across. And that is the product. That is the effect, the Karya. Then by this Viveka, what happens? You become rooted in your conviction. And that is the most excellent thing one can gain. And that is called Avati. Achieving the end of Viveka. So you become a Viveki. And what is the Palam? The result of this viveka is you get into the next discipline, which is what the next qualification is Vairagyam. And before getting to Vairagyam, one more point I would like to clarify. How to get Viveka? To get Viveka, you must have a clear thinking. You must have a value for clear thinking. If you develop the habit of clear thinking, then Viveka will be easy. So therefore, the value for thinking should, that is the first thing. Then, if you have value for Viveka, then you can spend your time, your life effectively in the right direction. So you can lead a religious, dharma-based life. That is the life with an attitude of karma yoga. About karma yoga, we are going to study later in detail from the mouth of Bhagavan Krishna himself. We will see there. So that leading a life with an attitude of karma yoga, that is the means for Viveka, because that type of life, it makes the mind relatively pure and subtle, and with your pure and subtle mind you can see through the things clearly, and therefore a life of dharma with proper karma yoga attitude, that is the means for Viveka. And also, learning with our life experiences, you will be able to see this fact that everything is anitya. And analysis of this experience of life, it also helps to develop Viveka. Therefore, Viveka can be achieved, it can be gained by a person by leading a dharmic life and having an attitude of karma yoga with a mindset to learn, and also with the study of logic. If your mind is ready to think logically and rationally, then you don't have to study Nyaya Shastram. You don't have to study Nyaya Shastram, but little bit of Sanskrit grammar, it can help you to have a systematical thinking. So by that also you can arrive to this Viveka. I'm just glorifying Sanskritam also in the process. And therefore, and the significance of this Viveka is that it gives proper direction to our sadhana, to our seeking. And understand that the direction of my sadhana is decided by my Viveka. The direction of what I pursue is decided by my Viveka. Otherwise, we will be lost. So that is why this Viveka is like a GPS. It's like a global positioning system. So Viveka, it gives a direction to our pursuit. It is a clarity of what we want and where we can get and how we can get. That is a very important thing in life. And that too, in the spiritual world, there are so many funny ideas are there. People talk about so many yogas, and that all those things can take you for a ride. And this Viveka, a clear discriminative inquiry, it will keep you on the proper track of the tradition and the path of Vedanta. If this Viveka is proper, then we will not be carried over by these stories of some mystical experiences happening in someone's life. So some people may say they will give moksha in 3 days, and many people will subscribe for it. So all these stories should not carry us away from Vedanta. And Vedanta is the only pramanam for knowing myself. And knowing myself, my nature, that is moksha. And therefore, if we have this Viveka, then we will not deviate from the track. That is why this Viveka is stated in the beginning as a primary qualification required for a sadhaka. And the result of this Viveka, it leads to the next qualification. What is that? Vairagyam. Vairagyam is the next qualification in the list of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. And the word Vairagyam, literally it means state of absence of attachment. State of absence of attachment is Vairagyam. It is made of two words, Vigataha and Ragaha. Vigataha and Ragaha. Vigata Ragasya Bhavaha Vairagyam. Vigataha means gone, that which has gone. Absence, that is Vigataha. Ragaha means attachment. So Vigata Ragasya Bhavaha Vairagyam. Absence of attachment, that is Vairagyam. Vairagyam can be translated as detachment or desirelessness or dispassion. In the tradition, in Tattva Bodha, we have seen the definition. Iga amutra palabhoga viragaha vairagyam. Viraga, that is, raga is passion, and when you add the vi upasarga, that stands for dis. So this passion, viragaha, the absence or the freedom from raga, that is viraga. So viraga means dispassion or detachment. Detachment from what? Detachment from bhoga. All sensory pleasures, all sukham, all pleasures which we derive from the contact of sense organs with the sense objects, they are all bhoga vishaya. So detachment from all bhoga vastu, that is viraga. All material dependences are called bhoga. And the palam, which are in the form of karma palam eva bhoga, karma pala bhoga. The palam, which is the result of any action, that in the form of enjoyment, that is called karma pala bhoga. That iga amutra karma pala viraga, that karma pala bhoga, absence of that karma pala bhoga, that is called viraga. That is the palam which are obtained, which are gained by our action, and that gives us bhoga, that enjoyment, and absence from the sense of absence from that enjoyment. That is iga amutra pala bhoga viraga. That is dispassion for the objects of enjoyment, either in this loka or in the other loka, which are obtained by the action. This is called viraga. Every sukham what we gain, it's a result of purva punyam. We have done some punyam, and therefore we enjoy that pleasure, the sukham. You may think that I have not worked for this pleasure now, but you would have worked for that before. This purva krita punyam. Therefore, yatyat karma palam, therefore whichever karma pala, the karma pala what you enjoy, which is in the form of a sukham, that for that there is a cost. What is the cost? The punyam is there. Similarly, if the palam is not pleasure, it is otherwise, then purva krita papam is there. So papam and punyam both are there before. Because of that only we enjoy the result of action now. And the result of action, that is not nityam. Because that being the result of action, and action being limited, and therefore punyam and papam, which manifest in the form of the sukha situation, the pleasurable situation, or not pleasurable, unpleasurable situation, it is not going to be nityam. It is anityam. Yatyat karma palam, that is papam and punyam, tat anityam eva. And therefore, the Palabhoga, Sukha Palabhoga, that Palabhoga in the form of enjoyment, what we acquire here in this loka, either or in the other loka, that is Swargaloka, Amutra, Iga and Amutra. The pleasure what we acquire in this loka, it is called Iha means Bhuloka, in this loka, Amutra means Swargaloka, that is Paraloka. So all the pleasures what we enjoy in this loka as well as the other loka, and dispassion for the pleasures which are obtained in this loka and the other loka, that is called viraha. Why you should have dispassion? Because they are anityam. Anitya Sukham, because they are all Anitya Sukham, and therefore viraga, the detachment is important. Be detached. We say be detached. We don't say hatred. We don't say have entertained hatred towards those bhogavastu. We don't say that. Hatred is not good. No hatred towards anything. Therefore, it is viraga. Don't be passionate towards the objects belonging to this world or in the other world. And therefore, why do we say that? Because the karma pala what you enjoy out of that is anitya, and you have already viveka, and therefore vairagya, which is an next qualification which comes out of, which is the result of viveka, and viveka is you know what is nityam and anityam. Now what you do is you discard, you dismiss, you don't want the anitya vastu, you don't want the temporary pleasures given by the objects of the world, this world or the other world. Therefore, you can dismiss anitya vastu and you can choose only nitya vastu. And therefore, vairagyam comes next in the list of the disciplines. Viveka palam vairagyam. Vairagyam is the outcome of viveka. When you discriminate two things and understand what is nityam and what is anityam, then you know what is anityam, you dismiss that and you take what is nityam. Acharya Bhagavad Pada in Viveka Chudamani, he defines vairagya. Tad vairagyam jugupsaya darshana shravanadivihi dehadi brahma paryante hyanitye bhogavastuni. He says, vairagyam is the absence of desire towards all things. Darshana, Shravana, Adibihi. Darshana is what you see. Shravana, what you hear. And Adibihi, you have to include what you touch and which you smell, which you taste, and also from all impermanent objects, starting from Dehadi Brahma Paryante, starting from the body up to the Brahma Loka. Starting from the body up to the Brahma Loka, absence of these desires towards all things is called Vairagyam. And I remember a shloka from Aprokshanubhuti. Aprokshanubhuti is a Prakana Grantha written by Bhagavad Pada. In that text, there is a shloka which I memorized long before. It's a very nice shloka. Somehow that shloka it attracted me. Brahmadisthavaranteshu vairagyam vishayeshvanu yataiva kakavistayam vairagyam taddi nirmalam. Brahmadisthavaranteshu vairagyam. That is that vairagyam, that indifference, the indifference with which one treats the kakavishta. Kakavishta is the excrement of a crow. The indifference with which one treats the excrement of a crow, one should have that indifference towards all objects of enjoyment, starting from Brahma. Brahmadi Stavaranteshu, starting from Brahma, Brahmaloka to this world, one must have indifference towards all objects of enjoyment. Vishayeshu Vairagya. And therefore, understanding that they are anityam, one should have indifference, not out of hatred or aversion. One should not run away from the world, or one should not develop dislike also. One should be highly objective. One should be highly objective and choose what is nitya. And that is the outcome of the result of viveka and subsequent sadhanam vairagya. And about vairagyam, we have to discuss more, as there is a possibility that people can misunderstand this topic of vairagyam. So we can take up this vairagyam and discuss elaborately in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you, Sharanji.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharanji.
Namaste.